So what you can see I'm doing is actually just trying to get my camera in the right angle. Oh, I moved it over, that's why. Okay, so I'm just doing collage. So I've just torn up bits of paper and I'm just gluing it to the page as it pleases me. But I also wanted to show you that if you don't have like recycled Christmas paper or recycled paper of any kind, what you can do is actually use like pages of a magazine. So like this is out of a magazine and it's got nice blocks of colour in it, so when you tear it up you'll still have lots of different variety there. But you can also use the shapes that they have in the pictures as well, sometimes the letters. And then like in this one, see how it's got like the watermark underneath, or you can use things like that that's on the other side. So, you know, you're not restricted to having to have something, you know, wrapping paper. This is a good piece of paper to use too because of the blocks of colour, but also because of the balloons if you wanted to feature them. And so, you know, paper, using advertising paper or published paper is really good as well, which is what I'm getting at there. And then the other papers I've used are, like this is a magazine page. These are featured papers that I got from, I'm not sure what I got these from actually. They might have been samples. This was paper, wrapping paper that I've used repeatedly for so many different projects because I cut out the butterflies. This one I've been using just on this project. It's Christmas paper, but it's actually got nice neutral kind of things that it makes good use for. This is actually sugar, and I didn't realise that these are lined as well to protect them from moisture, so I actually do tear some of that off if I need to. But it's really nice kind of crafty paper, so I really like it that way. And I'm actually going to just cut a little bit more of this to tear up for this page because I like the colour. This is another Christmas one, so just cut up a little bit more of that. You can see it's quite exacting. No, not. And this one is actually, this tissue paper is actually really nice because you can put it over the top of things and it will, oops, sorry, I just got to unstick it from my cover behind so that doesn't stay there, because that's just to protect my mat underneath. So yeah, you can see that tissue paper actually is really nice as an overlay. So if you have other tissue paper, I recommend you use it. I do have others, but I'm just going to stick with these colours for the moment. It is nice to have a little bit of a colour theme, and I think that does kind of happen naturally in a lot of occasions in terms of when you're putting it down together. So yeah, a little bit more tissue paper. The other thing I have, and I'm just going to have to pull it out from under here, is serviettes. Serviettes are really good for lots of things. As you can see, this was a unicorn because I made something for my grandbaby out of this particular paper. But I do like these colours here. For this particular piece of paper, I might still put them in there. Although, probably more this half. The pink colours not so much, but these ones I might use in this one. So what I've done today is I've actually cut up or torn up the papers that I'm using and put them in piles, and then as I put the glue on, I can actually just draw from the different piles. I've got a photo of that. I took a photo of the pile so you could see what I do. And the reason I'm documenting this is just because I am looking at maybe sharing some ideas about what you can do with a piece of collaged paper. And so I was just wanted people to see how easy it is to actually play with this idea. Got to keep the glue kind of wet. So just put that on there. And it's really a matter of what pleases you. You know, you don't have to do anything that isn't what you want to do when it comes to this stuff, which is really cool. And the different uses that I'm planning for these particular pieces is I want to make some envelopes, some miniature envelopes, and that's to go with some miniature cards that we'll make as well, and also a mailbox for an in-home mailing system. And this was an idea that, you know, I played with this with the kids when they were little, but it's particularly good now because so many people are trapped inside their homes, and so it's kind of a nice activity, and it's also a very uplifting one. So the idea is that, you know, the family develop their own little mail system, and you know, they might nominate a postman for the day or the week, and they send things to each other and they put it in the post box, and then once a week their postman, or once a day depending on how you want to do it, the postman just empties the box and delivers the mail. And it's, you know, I'm a kid on the inside obviously, because for me I find it really fun and exciting to be able to get mail even when it's come out of a post box that I've made and stuck in my house. So I figure if I'm like that, I can't be the only one that's like that. I know kids are like that. That's why they're so much fun to play with, and why I enjoy making stuff for my granddaughter so much. And pretty soon little Samuel, my grandson, I'm sure he's going to be into it, because he seems to be progressing very quickly at engagement that way. And so yeah, so that's why I wanted to just video this. Now I've done one layer on another piece, but the thing is that I actually want to add some other things, so I let the layer dry for the other piece, and then when it's ready I'll actually cut up some other types of more featurey kind of paper, and I'll use it to put some extra highlights and colours and things in, to make it just that little bit more interesting. And what happens is that once this is all dry, there are two things I want to do with it. As I said, there's the envelopes and the cards. These will be for their envelopes, not for the cards. I'll do something different for the cards. But also, the other idea I like is to actually create a collage background, and then make some stencils, template stencils that you can cut out and actually stick to the collage background, and see the collage come through the shapes that are cut into the stencil. And I think that's actually a really nice idea as well. Just visually I think it's very fun, and so that's another idea that I want to do. And the reason I'm videoing this is because I just really don't know how to present these ideas in ways that people can understand and can participate in and really enjoy. And so video just seems to be the mode for doing everything. And I think maybe a Zoom call or something like that. Actually, I just got a brilliant idea that I might act on that might be worthwhile. So we'll see how that goes, and I'll get back to you. But anyway, I'm going to finish this just here so you can see what I'm doing here. I'm going to finish off what I'm doing, and when I'm ready to go to the next step, I will come back. Thanks. Okay, so I have chosen some bits and pieces of kind of feature paper that I have that I want to layer on top of this one. And one of those is, this is really beautiful fine paper. I'm not sure what they call this. It's a kind of tissue, but I think it might be like an Asian type of paper. And then I've got some more woven stuff that's really easy to tear. And these are just from a scrapbooking sample book. And so I'm going to keep those ones for the second sheet that I did, because it's got the blue in it. This one doesn't have the blue, so I'm kind of focusing on more of the earthy tones. But I've also got, on the back of this little piece of sample that I had, were these bits, so I've actually torn those up. Instead of using that side, I'm going to use the other colours just to add a little bit of a splash. And so yeah, that's what we're up to with this. So I'm just going to put some glue in some places where I'd like to put some accents, and get my brush, which I've cleaned. Probably needs more cleaning by the feel of it. If I wanted to use it for anything other than glue, I would definitely have to clean it. It's always important, just a note on brushes, if you do care about them, it's always good to clean them straight away. Never put them away with anything still in their bristles, because you won't be able to use them easily if you do. Okay, so I'm going to put that one down there. This one up here, actually I might turn it around. It's funny how you just get a feel for how you want it to look, even though there's no real sense to it in some ways. There's just something about what you're doing that speaks to you personally, and so makes you want to sit things together a certain way. And that's actually part of the art of collage, and why it's so potent and amazing as a tool for going deep in a person's psyche and being able to help bring them out of some difficult, dark places. Because it doesn't have to be articulated, it can actually just be put together like this, and when coached and coaxed through certain things, it just is a powerful tool. So that's what I'm doing here. When I finish this one, I'll hang it up to dry again, and then do the second layer on the other one. Now the thing is, you can go as small or as detailed as you like with these. You can stick with bigger pieces like this, or smaller ones, but it really depends on what you're planning on using it for. For example, I want to make excuse me, I want to make small envelopes with this, so it's actually better if the pieces are smaller, because you get to have a bit more variety in the shape of the envelope. Like, I'll show you the this is the template for the envelope, so you can see it's only 5 centimeters square, and so you want to be able to see a bit of variety in the collage materials. So if you only have big pieces, you're not going to get a lot of that diversity, which is why this is better if it's done smaller, so that you can get more of that diversity. Makes perfect sense, doesn't it? I know it does. I really like the feel, I don't know why, but I love the feel of paper, and I especially like it when it's kind of got this crinkly sound from having glue mixed with it. I love all things paper. I guess I love all things wood too, which is probably why I like paper, I think. It's actually a tree product. Yeah, that's what I reckon. So I'm just waffling, but anyway, I will show you this when I've finished, and we'll go from there.
Your salvation, I will sing unto
His holy name. Bless the name of my Lord. Bless His holy name. Bless the name of my Lord. Bless His holy name. Bless the name of my Lord. Bless His holy name. Bless the name of my Lord. Holy name. Okay, so look how cool this is. I realize it's not really anything major, but it's just fun and creative. Hey, so I've actually collaged this whole box, alright? And I used a ring pull off a can of corn or something like that to put on the front. And this just unwinds like this, and it opens, and inside I have the cards and envelopes that I made. And what's cool is I found these corners off a frame that I had bought, and that's what's actually in here holding them in place. Isn't that groovy? See, and then you can take, right? So here's one little card. That's all it is. You can write something, do whatever you want with it really. Just a little card. And hang on, let me pull out an envelope. So here's an envelope. See, you can see how small they are. And then card fits in like this. See? And then, depending on, you know, like, I actually think it's really good for kids to play postman around home, but I think it's just a really cool set that I might just have to give to somebody because it's just nifty and fun. Okay, anyway, that's my little set. I think it's very groovy, and it was all just done out of recycled stuff, so yeah, just wanted to share it. Okay. Oh, hang on. Wait a minute. I'll close it back up for you. I'll put my card back in and my envelope back in and show you how it closes up. So you just close it, pull it around. This is actually just stitched on like that. See? That's it. Pretty groovy, huh? I like it. Later.